Hi, thanks for tuning in. Today is about entering the flow. So all of my videos should take you into a state of flow. The idea for this one is to start on the side. So the other two videos, which you don't have to watch before you finish this one, but we started with the swinging from the front. Okay. So I showed a couple different swings in the juggling video. The swing was for juggling. I did a little bit to the side juggle, but I didn't start off from this side, the kettlebell being on the side. So the first thing that we're going to do is when you pick up your kettlebell from the side, again, I'm like looking more down. I'm not really looking up, or you can like look at the horizon, but mainly I'm like looking like right here at this spot right in front of me. Keep my neck neutral. And I'm just gonna lift the kettlebell. Okay, I didn't do anything with my arms. Okay, my arm's at this angle here, so obviously gravity wants to make the bell go down. Gravity and some inertia, it keeps going, right? So just lift the kettlebell and let it go to the side. Just make sure your shoulders are above your hips. Spine is neutral, so you don't want to be like arched real tight, and don't let your spine flex either. Okay, that's even worse. So nice neutral spine, just like you're standing up straight. Glutes and abs contracted. Hinge back with the hips. Keep your shins parallel. Keep your shoulders driven towards your hips using your lats. So I'm trying to get my shoulder to touch my hips. I stand up, and the kettlebell goes across my body. We'll call this the crossbody swing. Okay, so let's get used to it. Each side, real easy. I'm not doing anything with my arms. They're just loose, just enough to keep the bell from falling on my foot. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go with that flow. Okay, so when the kettlebell goes across the body, we're going to accept that into the clean position. From there, what's the bell want to do? It wants to go down, right? So we'll sink it down a little bit, and then we'll push it up. So you see how I'm turning here? My right heel is off the ground. My left foot stays planted. Left, if the kettlebell's in my left arm, I'm turning towards the left. Now, as I go to lower the kettlebell, I come back to the center. You can do that way. And go ahead and lower towards the front. And then we'll add another technique to it that lets us keep that sideways, that side swing going. So again, goes across the body, flows that way. We use that to push the kettlebell up. Now if the kettlebell's in my right arm, my left heel comes off the ground, my right heel stays planted, and I'm turning towards the right. Nothing extreme. My shoulders and hips are still pretty lined up. See? I'm not really twisting at the spine like this. Don't do this. My shoulders and hips are still lined up. You can clench your glutes and abs, contract them, and you just turn to the side like that way. Okay. Then you can lower it to the clean position, the rack position, and then cast the kettlebell out, and swing up again. Okay. So again, I'll do the same side. or I'll do the left side. So make sure I'm even, or if you're using your right arm, that can be your mirror. So the kettlebell is just in front of the feet. It goes up, it wants to come back down, so I want it to go that way. I just allow it. I'm turning to the side here. I can lower it back to the rack position, cast the kettlebell out, goes across the body again, and there, okay? Go back to the center, rack position, back in front. Okay. There's many variations within this. So with my style, I want it to become your style. Not like you're like me, but you develop your own style, your own way of expressing yourself with the kettlebell, with your other strength and conditioning. I'm not trying to make copies of myself. So it's about finding your strength. So take these whole bunches of techniques that I'm going to be showing you over time and eventually make them their own. Learn them how I'm showing you. And make sure you are dialing in the proper things, the proper technique. And then as you get more used to it, more comfortable, you put your own combinations together. Okay, I've taught like 7-year-olds that were putting combinations together. I show them a bunch of stuff over time. And then when they go to do their freestyle flows, they're doing some cool stuff. They're inventing things that I haven't showed them. And you can do that too, all right? So, kettlebell starts at the side, let it swing that way, let it swing that way. Turning towards the kettlebell, all right? Now, instead of lowering back to the rack position, I'm just gonna cast it out from the top. Across the body, back and forth and back towards the top. Casting it forward, make sure you're leaning forward a little bit. And you see how I'm like dipping down? I'm accepting that weight and then using the momentum. Okay, from the side. Let it cast it, let it go. So I'm leaning forward just a little bit so I can let the kettlebell pass me by. All right. So if I just let it come down straight, it's gonna hit me in the leg, right? So I have to lean forward a little bit. See that? So I'm leaning forward just a little bit. How much? Enough so it can do this. You don't want it to be way out here. Okay, that's too tough on your back. But if you're just like right here, just get used to that. Okay, that's your position. Use that momentum. All right. If your bell is too heavy to cast it from the top position, lower it to the rack and then cross the body again. So it's just real fluid. Pick it up. The kettlebell wants to go this way. The kettlebell wants to go this way now. Well, it wants to go straight down, but you can see the force through the arm, so just go that way. Turn towards it, and then press it up. Okay? And go to cast it. The legs are bending a little bit as it swings down. Use that momentum. Legs come up to lift the weight back to the rack position and turn. Okay. It's real fluid. Okay. Of course, there's going to be tension, and of course, you're not going to be using, the maximum weight you can press with this. But you can get up to some pretty heavy weights and just like let it flow. Okay. Look at my heels. Just look at my heels for a second. Okay. You can switch hands in the air. So we'll start So this is really easy. I'm not trying to make the kettlebell go this way. It does it by itself. Fluid. Cast it out. Cast it out. Cast it out. Cast it out. Okay. Be like water. Just flow. You know, like flow state. So what's the flow? Everybody knows what the flow state is, right? When you're doing this, you come so you're not really thinking about it. That's the idea. You're like doing it without thinking. You're just in the moment, doing what's right, feeling the weight, doing what it wants to do. I don't have to think about the kettlebell coming this way. It does it all on its own. Okay. Then you're accepting, pushing. The weight's coming down, you accept it. Accept it with the legs. Okay, legs and hips. So you're absorbing it into the hips. So you're using that rebound from loading your springs, loading your legs, loading your glutes, the springs. Springs unload, causing kettlebell to go back up again. Just do it really fluid, okay? That's the idea. And then when you switch hands in the air, if you're not used to it, you can just kind of get, okay, you can kind of just do this sort of thing. So from the side, I'm leaned over, it'll have to be leaned over a little bit. Not too much, okay? Just gotta get used to passing the bell from one hand to another. Side note, very soon I'm gonna be having a different background. I know like the lighting in here isn't perfect and the background, if I'm wearing a light shirt, I almost blend into the wall. And so I am aware of the lighting and stuff, and it will be changed. The content is the most important. So if you can bear with me for however much longer, I will be fixing it so it looks better. But I bought kettlebell video many years ago, kettlebell juggling video. I paid $100 for it. It was filmed outside, wind blowing on the camera. You could, your old phone could do it better. I was perfectly satisfied buying that DVD for $100 because the content was really good and I did what it said and it helped me a lot. So I think most people that will be watching this aren't going to like be, he's wearing a light gray shirt and the wall's white. My dark gray shirt was dirty. Anyways, I don't want to get too caught up in that, but just know that I am always going to be doing my best to improve the videos. That's the content, my presentation, as well as the way it looks. Back to the kettlebell. When we get to this flow, so if you watch the first video, I was doing this one. So clean, then squat, and then press, and then clean. Okay, and then we got to flowing with it. Absorb the clean with the squat. Use the squat use the concentric portion of the squat to push the weight up. Weight comes down, I just absorb it with my legs. Okay, that was covered in the first video. So now we're going to blend those ideas. Okay, so I'll do it first. okay? I could have gone into another round of that. Does that make sense? I know for a lot of these videos, I'll be throwing a lot at you, but trust me, pick it apart movement by movement. And I'm not teaching this series that's going to go on indefinitely as a step-by-step curriculum. First you watch video 1, and then number 2, and then 3. That's not what it is. Each video will stand on its own. Also, collectively, they go together as expressions of my system that you can take and express yourself. That's the idea. I don't want to look like, oh, he's doing it just exactly like me. Isn't that awesome? That guy just like me. No, it's like, oh, he took what I showed him and now he's doing that. I didn't even think of that. That's so cool. That's what I want to see. Okay. But you start where you are. You learn the ingredients. You learn the elements: mobility, stability, strength, power, endurance. These different techniques. Then you blend them together, make your own recipe for your own magic. That's the idea. So I'm going to do that same thing again. So it's hard to talk when you're in flow state. Okay, so I'm putting myself into flow state as I go. So just watch. Okay, and that's how you put it down over here. I know I was putting it down in front on some of them, and that's how you put it down to the side. Okay. You can get to, you can do a lot of different combinations. That's what I love about the kettlebell so much. I think it is the greatest tool for all around strength and conditioning that exists. So what, is it going to get you stronger than anything else? Can't really say that. That's probably a barbell. Why? Because a barbell, you can put more weight on it, you lift more weight, and you're stronger, okay? Yeah, you can have heavy kettlebells. This one's 159 pounds. Okay, it's custom, but putting 159 on a barbell, it's a lot more, it can be a lot more reasonable, more useful. But the kettlebell, as far as strength and conditioning as a thing and together, to put together the 5 elements: mobility, stability, strength, power, and endurance, I think it's the best tool that there is. That's why this is my focus. I have a barbell right there. I can show you barbell stuff too. And in these coming videos, I probably will do dumbbell stuff. I showed some dumbbell variations on the first video. I have a trap bar. I have all kinds of stuff in here that I might use, but the focus is the kettlebells for the reasons I just said. I do believe it is the most useful strength and conditioning tool, period. So next, we'll add instead of the press first and then, we're going to keep the arm more straight as we go. So that this is going to be more challenging. Okay, so it's a little bit different, see? All right. All right, we won't worry about putting that together with other things first yet. All right. So you can also take a step. Watch. All right. So when you take your step, my left leg is going to point towards that wall. and come up this way. All right. All right. So you can do that one. Come down into the squat, back up. All right. That one you can call like a kind of side swing. I was already calling that a side swing. It's just the greater expression of it. Okay. So if this is the side swing, this is just a bigger side swing. This is the biggest side swing. All right. So moving towards the wall. All right. Makes sense? I would say if it gets overwhelming to you, all these different techniques that I present, just pick a couple and put them together. The clean press and squat is a great combination. All right, so just your basic clean, and then squat, and then press. Okay, I would recommend getting good at that first. How good? That you can be stable at each position. Okay, clean, squat, press. And then let it flow. Absorb, redirect. Okay. And I've covered it in other videos. There in the future, I will break down individual techniques even more, but each video should also be pretty much a standalone, but I can't explain everything there is to know about everything that I'm going to do in every single video. But key point for the clean, once the elbow hits, it stays and then you're lifting kettlebell with hip power. So a common thing is to let that elbow come out and do something like that. Once this elbow hit my side, it stays there. Okay. That way you're lifting with hip power. Key point on the squat is gripping the ground with your feet, toes. Have your heels and the balls of your feet, everything that's touching the ground except the arches is firm. And then you pull yourself down into it, just like you're lifting your legs up from here. You're using your hip flexors. You contract your hip flexors before you even go down on the squat. Your abs and your glutes are contracted hard. And then you pull yourself down. So I'm contracting my hip flexors, the legs, muscles that lift my legs up. And I'm using those to pull me down into the squat. Okay, and then when I get up to the top of the squat, my glutes and abs are maximally contracted, stable, stable, stable. All right, as you get used to that, using the right weight, maybe it's a little lighter weight. I don't know what you have, so I'm also giving these guidelines. So each video will work with almost whatever combination of kettlebells you have. Then let it get to flow. All right. So I'll just do a few variations. I'm just going to flow for a minute without saying anything. Okay, squatting with the arm up. Okay. So I threw that other one in there. I've covered it a little bit before, but there's many variations for the overhead squat. And overhead squat might not even be the best name for it, depending on what variation you're using. So, start from the side. Get your feet back to square. And then look up at the bell. Slide your hand down your knee, touch the floor, and then go back up. So, look up at the bell. Slide your hand past your knee, and then back up. All right. Other side. I'm showing some variations here. Okay. Look up at the bell. Make sure the shoulder stays down. Make sure you don't push your shoulder up. Don't do that. Let your arm rest in the shoulder socket. Look up at the bell. Okay. So the more and more techniques that you learn, you can put them together. And you'd maybe program this you can have a day where you think, okay, I'm going to do 5 sets of 5 minutes, or I'm going to do 3 sets of 5 minutes, which I guess let's talk a little bit about like the programming. So a lot of times we can answer a question by saying 3 to 5. So you can say, how many reps should you do? This is mainly regarding strength training and not necessarily kettlebell flows, but it will illustrate my point here. So 3 to 5. So how long should my rest periods be? 3 to 5 minutes if you're building strength. How many reps should I do? 3 to 5. Okay, how many different exercises should I do? How many different techniques? 3 to 5. So you do 3 to 5 techniques for 3 to 5 sets with 3 to 5 minute rest periods. And that's right, building strength. This is a little bit different. Of course, you're building strength, but that's not the primary purpose for these particular techniques. You can build tremendous strength with them, really. But as we discussed, just talking about strength and nothing else, barbell is the king. But with kettlebells, with these, how many? You can do the same sort of thing. How many sets should you do? 3 to 5. How many minutes should each set be? 3 to 5. Okay, what should your rest periods be? 3 to 5 minutes. You can make them shorter, you can make them longer, but these are just guidelines that are mainly used. The 3 to 5 system is very famous. I didn't make it up for strength training. But if you have a question, you can almost answer it with the 3 to 5. With the kettlebells are really good for getting into very high reps also. So you can do hundreds of reps. Okay. But most of what I'm showing isn't necessarily the hundreds of rep stuff, although it does add up. It certainly can be. Next thing that I'm going to show you for programming is, like, we'll stick with that amount of flow for today. I think that's enough to give you something different with the other videos. So there's ladders and there's chains. So with chains refers to the amount of weights I have. So this is a 35-pound kettlebell. This one's 44 pounds. Like this one's 53. How many kettlebells do you think I should have out here? Say 3 to 5. 3 to 5. If you want more, have more, okay? But I'm gonna illustrate a point here. So let's say I'm working on my squats. Say that 53, it's too heavy to work out, or like whatever weight you have, light, medium, heavy, whatever it is, that's like too heavy to use the whole time. Maybe you can do it like once or twice, but not very often. Not like the whole workout, rather. So you'll start, we'll call this a chain. So I'm going to do clean and press, 1, 2. Okay. And that's your pretty easy weight. You can do more, but you don't. Okay. Left side, right side. Then I would do 2 with my right arm. And it could be more. It could be 3 to 5. I'm just doing this for brevity. And it might be 2, okay? There are programs that are kind of written in stone, but I want to show you how to think fluidly, okay? Because I don't know what weights you have, and this system works. So I just did 2 with that. If I'm going for strength, I rested for however long it was. I do my left hand. Time to do I did left hand with this one, and I'm going to do right hand with the same one. So clean, press, press. Okay, left side, right side, same weight. I wait for a couple minutes, and to be honest, most of these days, I don't time my rest times. There are some times when I do. It depends what I'm doing. But okay, so I did 2, each of these 2, I waited. Now it's time to do 2 with this one. 1, 2. Okay, so that's about your max. This is your heavy bell. So maybe it's 2 reps, 5 reps, whatever. You usually don't do as many as you can possibly do. Okay. Then I start back with the light one. Okay, I might have 5 kettlebells out here. So each arm, I do each one, however many reps. And then I start back with the light one. 2 reps, each arm, 2, 2. And I might go through the chain. I might set the timer for, say, 8 minutes, 10 minutes. Or I might have a certain amount of sets that I want to complete with that. How many is right? If you say 3 to 5, you're on the right track, okay? But there's a lot of options available. So that's a chain where you go from the lightest weight, same exercise. I could be doing squats. I could be doing, okay, squat for 3 to 5 reps. Each arm. Same thing with the next one, 3 to 5. And then you start back with the lightest one. Don't go back this way. That's called more like a pyramid, okay? So that's different. So you start with the easy one. So it's like you just finished the hard one, and part of it is a mental thing where that was a challenge for you, and you don't even know if you could do it again right now. But oh, this one's the easy one, okay? But you still treat that set with dignity, okay? A couple points on the press, just because I did it. You want to squeeze the handle and keep the shoulder down. Don't raise it up like this way. Keep the shoulder down. And you want to squeeze because it helps contract the rotator cuffs in the shoulder that holds the ball in the socket, and you contract your lats on the way down like you're doing a one-arm pull-up to test yourself to kind of get ready for that moment. You might like hold your elbow up with the other hand and push down. See what that feels like to resist that elbow coming down. You want to contract those same muscles and rather than just yield from gravity. Okay. I did show dropping from the press, yielding to gravity, even into the squat, and then absorbing that way. Okay, so I did show that. And just know which one you're doing and why. So you go through these. Now, that's called a chain. So that's good for working in more volume, doing more reps. And that way you get practice with your heavy bell without wearing yourself out, and you can't do that much volume with your heavy bell. So you get your volume in with the light, the medium, and you get your practice in. It's all practice, and you get your practice in with your heavy bell too. Now, a ladder is okay, so you can go through your chain however many times. Okay. If you're thinking, just keep thinking 3 to 5, and you almost can't go wrong. So that's about the different weights. So a ladder is the same weight, and you build up your sets. You build up the rungs of the ladder and how many you do. So this is the 53-pound kettlebell. Let's say this is a medium-ish challenge for me. I'm just starting to do my ladder. The first thing that I would do is just one press. Okay, other arm. Glutes and abs are contracted, squeeze tight. Press the bell up, put one arm pull up, and down. That's one rung of a ladder. You did one set, okay? And these programs are good to write down because it'll get hard to keep track when you're putting these into place. After your rest period, then the second rung will be 2 reps. So 1, 2. Okay, left arm, right arm. You take your break, and then, as you can imagine, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And when you're starting your ladder, you can call it a cycle, like the beginning of this program, maybe you'll do 3 ladders of 1, 2, and 3 as each rung. So 3 ladders, 3 rungs, each. So, are you following me? So I'll go 1, pick it up again, 2, pick it up again, 3. That's 1 ladder. Then I'll go back again, 1 rep, and then 2 reps, and then 3 reps. That's 3 rungs. 2 ladders. You do that again. That's 3 ladders. Okay. Your next time working out, you add 1 rung on the next ladder. So you would do what I just said, 1 rep, and then 2 reps, and then 3 reps, 3 times. And then you get to that 4th ladder, and you're just doing 1 rung. So you just do 1 rep, and that ladder is done. your workout after that, you'll add the second rung to the fourth ladder. It means you'll do 1 rep and then 2 reps on the fourth ladder, and then it's done. The workout after that, you'll add the third rung. So you'll do 1 rep and then 2 reps and then 3 reps 4 times. Then you'll add a 5th ladder, 1 rung. And then so go 1 rep, 2 rep, 3 reps, 4 times, and then 1 rep on one rung on ladder number 5. You fill that up so you're doing 3 rungs on each ladder. So you'll do 1 through 3 reps 5 times. Then you'll go back the next workout and you'll add a 4th rung to only your first ladder. So your first ladder, you'll do 1 rep, 2 reps, 3 reps, and then 4 reps. And then just 1, and then 2, 3 for the rest, for the remaining 4 ladders. And then, so you first fill up your ladders. You go from 3 ladders, 3 rungs per ladder, and then add 1 rung to the 4th, fill that ladder up to 3 over consecutive workouts, and then add the 5th ladder, fill that one up to 3, and then the next workout, your first ladder will have 4 rungs, which on that 4th rung, that's 4 reps. And you keep doing that until you get to 5, okay? Once you have 5 reps, or 5 rungs rather, on 5 ladders, that's doing 1 rep, putting it down, 2 reps, and then putting it down, 3 reps, putting it down to 5. Do that 5 times, then you're ready for your next size bell. Okay. I hope that makes sense to you. That is long term. It's going to take you a while to get through that, but that program. Okay. You can do the same thing with squats. Basically any kind of what we call grind. So I learned about this, a lot of this program through Pavel Satsulin. I was a Strong First instructor for 4 years, and he has a lot of great methods that really work. I added a lot of my own style to that. I've add other methods to that. My method is merging of many other methods and including my own stuff. And these things really work. So it's about adding more volume. So just like the chain, where I'm going up in weight each set, or a ladder where I'm using the same weight, but I'm going up in reps each set until I get to the top, and then I go back to the easiest. Okay. So after you do 3 reps, then you go back to doing 1 rep. Make sense? I hope that's not too confusing. If that is, if it's easier to like see it written out, just look up like Pavel Satsulin and ladders, or send me a message and I will clarify what I mean. I'm sure, I think you get it though. It's pretty simple. That kind of programming will take you a long way. Basically think progressively. You don't have to add tons to every workout. The idea is to be consistent over time. Leave energy in the bank. Okay? That means don't completely exhaust yourself. Rarely max out. Okay? And if you're new and think of a lot of this as practice. So I've done some follow along stuff, but if you just think of it as practice, like I'm going to practice my squats. And so you do a squat chain going from lightest to heaviest, back to lightest. Maybe you have 3, maybe you have 4, maybe 5 kettlebells. Okay, whatever you have. Or you think of like, okay, I'm gonna practice my presses. Okay. Rather than thinking, oh, I'm gonna exhaust myself doing squats, think of them as a practice. You're building these skills. Strength is a skill. And the better you get at it, so like if I can press whatever, I've kind of like push jerked 123 pounds with one arm. I've done 115 twice with one arm on, and that way up 160. But if I can do that, why would I mess with a kettlebell that's so light? The answer is building volume. Okay, and it's building volume of the correct technique. So sometimes if you're going for a max effort, you want to keep your technique perfect, but what happens a lot of times is stuff starts to slip. It's not perfect, it's ugly, but you lifted it, and okay, I've done that too. But the more perfect you can keep it, the better. That's the idea. Strength and safety, it's like the same thing. So I'm not sure how long I've rattled on here. I meant to keep track. I didn't want this to be a real long one. I just wanted to add another few techniques and talk a little bit about programming, get a little bit deeper into that. So I'm hoping that makes sense. If you're watching this, it means you're paying for it. And yeah, I'm only asking for $5 a month, which kind of sounds crazy, but I want this to be accessible to anybody. That's the point. I don't want it to be a burden of cost where you're, oh man, that bill's coming up. I don't think I can do it this month. It's $5. Okay, the idea is that you're not going to miss it, and you'll be able to benefit tremendously. And that's the idea. Of course, I want to make money. The amount of people that are already signing up, it's already blowing my mind, and I promise I will just really work hard to keep making these better and better. Send me a message, tell me what you want me to cover. I might do a video exactly what you want or answer your questions I want. I intend for this to be the place to go for kettlebell training, for all around kettlebell training. There might be some specifics that I don't really cover too much, like kettlebell sport or something like that, where I have some experience in those techniques for sure, but I can't say that it's my specialty or really my focus. Okay, I've had the coaching, but my focus is to really build your movement vocabulary. Okay, the more you have, the better vocabulary you have, the better you can express yourself. Okay, if you get a guitar and you just learn how to play one chord, you're not going to be able to express yourself optimally. If you get a guitar, you learn 3 chords, you can do a lot with 3 chords. There's a lot of great bands that made a living off of 3 chords. A lot of my favorite songs are just a few chords. But you get to where you can more flow with all these things, and you can express yourself better, and that's what I really want to see. And again, thank you very much. Tell me what you want to know. Tune in to the next one. See what's up. And I will fix background production value stuff. I know it's okay how it is, but I want to make everything better. Thank you.